Okay, now we come to compound interest. And suppose we have P equals to $1,000, R 2%, and T is 3 years. And for compound interest, it is quite different from simple interest. It actually means that after 1 year, we have some interest for this amount of money, $1,000. But however, this interest is add up to the principal after 1 year, so that 1 year later we have more than $1,000 in the end as the principal. So this interest will add up the principal to make a bigger principal. And in the second year, our principal will no longer be $1,000. We have more. Actually, we have more. So compound interest actually means the interest will accumulate to the principal, so that in the second year we have a larger principal, and then again we have more interest, and so on. And now we can illustrate this by using calculation. And we first find the amount after 1 year. And this will be $1,000 times 1 plus 2%. So this will be amount. P times 1 plus RT. And since we have only 1 year, so this will be only 2%. And we can easily find out this will be $1,020. And in fact, this number, $1,020, will be the principal for the second year. So we can easily see that in the second year, the principal is $20 more than the principal in the first year. And now we can apply the same formula again to find the amount after 2 years. And this will be the principal after 1 year, which is 1,020 times, again, 1 plus 2%. So the answer is $1,040.4. And again, these amounts after 2 years will be the principal for the third year. The principal for the third year. And therefore, we can find the amount after 3 years. And this will be 1,040.4 times 1 plus 2% again. This is $1,061.21. And actually, you can see that for compound interest, you have an interest of $61.21. And this is a bit more than the simple interest method. And we can easily find this out by using the simple interest formula again. And we have a simple interest equals to P times R times T, $1,000, times R, 2%, and then times T, which is 3 years. And this amounts to $60. So this one is $1.21 less than the compound interest. And finally, we have one more thing to note. It seems that these steps are a bit complicated, and it's too long. And actually, we can summarize this with just one formula. And as you can see that, actually, when we calculate the amount after 2 years, we use the amount after 1 year as the principal. And this 1,020 actually is the product of 1,000 and 1 plus 2%. And therefore, we can write this as $1,000 times 1 plus 2%. And then, if we multiply this number again by 1 plus 2%, actually, it is $1,000 times the square of 1 plus 2%. This actually is the square of 1 plus 2%. And similarly, this expression, $1,040.4, is equal to $1,000 times 1 plus 2% bracket square. And again, if we multiply this number by 1 plus 2%, and then we have this square, the power 2 will become power 3. And therefore, finally, the amount after 3 years will be $1,000 P times 1 plus 2% to the power 3. And actually 3 match with the number of years here. And therefore, finally, we have this compound interest formula. If we want to find the amount, this will be equals to P times 1 plus R percent bracket to the power T. So you have to remember this formula well for the compound interest. And actually, we can only find the amounts here. If we want to find the compound interest, we simply subtract this A by P, and then we can get I here. And therefore, we can summarize the idea of compound interest using this table. And in fact, the principal in compound interest will increase every year. And suppose we have P equals to $100 and interest rate R equals to 10%. And therefore, in the beginning of the first year, we have principal $100, and then the interest will be $100 multiplied by 10%, and therefore this will be $10. And the amount at the end of the years will be the sum of the principal and the interest, P plus I. Therefore, we have $110. And then, at the beginning of the second year, the principal will no longer be $100. In fact, it will be $110. This will be our new principal. In fact, this is the sum of the principal and the interest in the first year. And so, in the second year, the interest will be $110 multiplied by 10%, and this will be $11. And you can see that this interest in the second year is more than that in the first year by $1. And in fact, this $1 comes from the interest of the interest of the first year. And since we have the interest in the first year is $10, so this interest have some other and other parts of interest in the second year, which will be $10 times 10%, and this will be $1, and this is part of the interest of the second year. And therefore, in Chinese, we call this part 利搭利. In fact, it is the interest of the interest in the first year. So this additional $1 is called 利搭利. And again, we have in the end of the second year, the amount will be the sum of the principal and the interest, and this will be $121. And again, this will be the principal of the third year, and the interest in the third year will be $121 times 10%, which in fact equals to $12.1. And finally, at the end of the third year, the amount will be $133.1. And now we can look at example 1. If $1,000 is deposited in a bank at an interest rate of 5% PA compounded yearly, find the amounts and compound interest received after 10 years. And so we can write down our P will be $1,000, and interest rate is 5% PA per annum. It actually means that we have 5% of interest every year. And the time will be 10 years, T equals to 10. And note that in compound interest, the time for calculating the compound interest is very important. So we have to highlight this part, compounded yearly. That means we have interest at the end of each year. Therefore, the amount will be equals to P times 1 plus R to the power T. And since P is 1000, therefore we have 1000 times 1 plus 5% to the power 10. And by making use of our calculator, this will be $1628.9, since the answer should be correct to one decimal place. And the compound interest will be A minus P. We subtract the principal from the amount, and this will be $1628.9 minus $1,000. And the answer is $628.9. So as we can judge from the answer, after 10 years, the total amount of interest is quite a substantial part of the original principal. And we have $1,000 as the original principal. And after 10 years, we have a sum of $600, a bit more than $600 as the compound interest. And now let's skip to example 3. Bank A offers an interest rate of 3% PA, compound quarterly. Quarterly means we have four times of interest in each year. And for Bank B, it offers an interest rate of 2.4% PA, and this interest rate is lower than that of Bank A. But the interest is calculated much more frequently. In fact, it is compounded monthly. If Hugo wants to deposit $40,000 in one of the two banks for 5 years, which one should he choose in order to get a bigger amount at the end? So we can write down the interest rate for Bank A and Bank B. And for Bank A, we have 3% PA. For Bank B, we have 2.4% PA. However, the time for calculating the compound interest is different. And for Bank A, it is compounded quarterly. That means 4 times per year. And for Bank B, it is compounded monthly. That is 12 times in a year. So we have to readjust the interest rate so that for Bank A, we have 3% PA, and then we should divide it by 4. So this 3% over 4 is the interest rate in each interval. That is 3 months. And for Bank B, the interest rate should be adjusted by dividing 2.4% by 12. Since in each interval, there is only 1 month involved. So we divide 2.4% by 12. And the total time will be 5 years. And since in 1 year we have 4 quarters, so in 5 years there will be 20 intervals for calculating compound interest for Bank A. And for Bank B, the time is 5 years, and since in each year there are 12 months, so there will be 60 intervals for calculating the compound interest. And now we have a full analysis of the interest scheme of two banks, A and B. And now we can simply calculate the amounts involved in these two plans. And now for Bank A, we have to calculate the amounts by using the compound interest formula. We have the P, $40,000, multiplied by 1 plus, and the adjusted interest rate will be 3% over 4, and then we take this to the power 20. And by using our calculator, we get the answer $46,447. And for Bank B, the amount will be $40,000 multiplied by 1 plus 2.4% over 12. This is the adjusted interest rate for Bank B. And we have 60 intervals, 60 months for calculating the compound interest. And our calculator tells us the answer is $45094. And we can realize that the amount for Bank A is a bit more than the amount we get from Bank B. So, therefore, Hugo should invest in Bank B. In Bank A to get a bigger amount of $46447.